Hi, welcome to yet another interesting session of learning. You know what? I have a little garden in my backyard and I regularly take some time out to water the plants, to prune them carefully and to take care of them. It gives me an inner satisfaction, that in the time when people are constantly cutting down trees in the name of urbanization, I am at least doing my little bit by contributing to nature. But what if someday someone comes and uproots my garden? I shudder at the very thought of it, But before I go on, let me talk about today's session. On Killing a Tree is a poem written by Gieve Patel. Most of Patel's poems center on the human body. On Killing a Tree too is one such poem. On Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So now that you know what the poem is about, let's take every stanza of the poem one by one and understand what they mean with word meanings and figures of speech. All right? The first stanza, it takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. That was the first stanza. As we read, the poet says that it takes a long time and a lot of effort to kill a tree. He seems to be comparing it to the life of human beings. He says that just like a human's death that cannot be ensured by a stab of a knife, the tree too cannot be killed by merely attacking it with one shot of an axe. It takes a long time and a lot of effort to cut a tree down. The poet explains that the tree has grown slowly over the years by feeding on the earth, absorbing water, and getting nourished by the soil. It has also absorbed the sunlight and oxygen for many years. The phrase leprous hide refers to the discolored bark of the tree that resembles a leper's skin where small leaves start growing. The poet speaks about the life of a tree by implying that just like we humans go through various stages of life from childhood to adulthood, the tree also makes many years to grow into its present form. And like humans need oxygen and water to survive, so do trees. And before we read further, let's look at some new words. The first word that we have in the poem is jab. Jab means a quick, sharp blow. Then we have consuming. Consuming means to eat something for nourishment. The next word on the list is crust, and it refers to the tough outer part of the earth. Last we have leprous, which refers to someone suffering from leprosy. Now that we've understood the meanings, let's look at some poetic devices / figures of speech. Read these lines. Slowly consuming the earth, feeding upon its crust. Now we know that although trees are living beings, they don't actually consume or feed. Here in these lines, the poet has attributed human qualities of feeding or consuming to the trees. So the figure of speech here is personification. Personification is a figure of speech where human qualities are given to animals, objects, or ideas. Read this line. And out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. As I said a while back, leprous hide refers to a leper's skin. The poet has indirectly compared the discolored bark of the tree to that of a leper's skin. The use of this poetic device is called metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that indirectly describes an object or an action in a way that isn't literally true, but helps in explaining an idea or making a comparison. Through this poem, Gieve Patel wants to convey that a tree, just like a human being, is an essential part of this planet. Just like we humans go through various stages in our lives, from childhood to adulthood, similarly the tree takes many years to grow by feeding on sunlight, air and water. Human beings can recover from any injuries or amputation, but if their heart stops functioning, their life comes to an end. Similarly, a tree too cannot survive if its roots are attacked. The title of the poem may be on killing a tree, but it is written sarcastically. The poet is describing how to kill a tree in the most gruesome way with the purpose of eliciting disgust. Instead of directly saying that it's wrong to kill a tree, they are very important for our environment, he has used this poem to indirectly send that message across. Tutormate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.